Hey everybody, welcome back to Art. Last week we talked about the early Christian period that is within the medieval period of art history. And this week we are going to be talking about Romanesque art. Okay, so let's see what Romanesque art is. So it's the artistic style of feudalism, and it was between the 11th and 12th centuries. It was developed mainly in rural areas since many cities had disappeared. And it was essentially religious. So you're going to see there is a religious theme throughout medieval art or medieval art history. Okay, so the first medieval international artistic style, common characteristics throughout all Europe. This was because this was possible because it was spread by the churches, by the monasteries and the pilgrimage routes. So the churches were the ones who were spreading this because they were the ones going around to different places, kind of like missionaries. All right, so what can we see in the architecture? Remember, we had a question about architecture. I asked you guys, is architecture a form of art? And everybody had their own different opinion. So you could say that it is, because in this particular art period, the Romanesque, there was a lot of this art. There was a lot of this art in churches and monasteries. And you most likely saw the Romanesque style in churches and monasteries. So, some characteristics of these buildings, they have thick walls made of stone. Think about the fairy tales that you have read. And there's always castles and there's always these giant houses, right? Well, that could be a form of Romanesque, okay? So the characteristics were thick walls made of stone, few windows and dark interiors, semicircular arches, and you kind of see that a little bit in buildings and in houses nowadays where they have a semicircle within like either a doorway or an entranceway. They use different types of vaults, barrel vaults, and they had different types of Latin cross plans, domes or towers, and this there were certain things that were only found in pilgrimage churches. Okay, so here's some examples. So thick walls made of stone. Right here, you can see the thick walls, and they were, of course, made of stone, right? And they had little entranceways to, I guess that looks like a keyhole, but that was probably just for artistic purposes. And few windows and dark interiors. So a lot of these places, yeah, there were few windows. So if you look at this building here, you see a little bit of windows here, and of course the archway or the doorway is semicircular. And here you see a little bit, like the windows are very small. And then you could see that the common theme of windows and entrances entrances were semicircular, and there were a few windows. So it was pretty much dark. So Romanesque, their buildings, they were pretty much dark. Okay. All right. So we are going to end there this today, and I will see you guys next week. Or I'll see you guys tomorrow, not next week. Sorry.